Hi, and welcome back to the Angry Cast. This is Build It, Hard Target. As part of the Sniper Duel Achievement, I had put in a fenced-in area where I was going to let skeletons spawn, and I could shoot them from 50 blocks away by the house, and then put a dirt ceiling above it so they didn't catch fire in the sunlight. But I wanted to get back into building in Minecraft, so I thought maybe it'd just be a fun experiment to maybe construct a large bullseye out in the water and have a platform for mobs to spawn on that, with a roof as well to keep them from catching fire in the daylight, and then kill two birds with one stone. Have a design video for building and an achievement video for Mongo Smashes. So here I am going to go build a platform for me to stand on and fire arrows out at the water, where there will be a bullseye constructed 50 blocks away. Nothing extravagant here, just a basic platform, not even matching the wood from the roof. This was just to have a place to stand that was higher up off the ground in order to compensate for the fact that the bullseye was going to have to stick way up in out of the water because of the size of it. And the reason I did sort of go this route was that somebody had left a comment on one of my videos for a build that they said I was really good at building, and they kind of made me feel, like I had let some fans down, like I hadn't done any building for a long time. I'm not a expert builder by any means, but I thought it would be nice to at least try to give some fan service to actually show them some buildings. And I'd like to get back into that eventually as well. Maybe within the second season we can start to maybe work more on building than we are on playing, because by that time we will have gotten all the way through Minecraft's basics, and me failing a lot. So back into the water here, we're going to start building our bullseye. Now, I had to figure out how to get the bullseye enough out of the water that I didn't have to aim very far up into the air in order to hit the platform, but also have enough space above the water so that I didn't drag the bottom of the bullseye into the ocean. I forget the actual count of blocks here, but I went pretty high. I think I wanted to have like a 27 or 25 block wide bullseye. So we're going to start with the bullseye center, which is going to be white. And then we will construct a 9-block center. Take out one more on the bottom here, and there we go. That's our center block. Then we get rid of the dirt pile so we can continue to build up and down. One thing that's going to really come into play here is the old Minecraft circle drawing, and I'll show that up here in a little while. But the thing we have to remember is that each concentric circle as we go out is another couple blocks on either side. You have to it has to be the same amount on either side. And I thought it would be easier for me, instead of trying to fill in the solid parts of each ring of the bullseye, that I would just do each ring as its circle and then come back and fill in. That would keep me honest when I'm trying to figure out how to fill in the gaps with the red and white wool. Here I'm doing the bottom half, trying to remember to count 3 blocks for each ring. I think I screwed up there. I have to go back and redo the entire thing. Okay. Now, as with any Minecraft circle, you want to get your edges done first so that you can see where you need to go from there. This is going to have a 7 across bottom, top, left, and right side. Here we're going to go to the sides now. Flying and trying to build is sometimes always a hard thing to do. Make sure I got them all counted right so I didn't have to go back and fix it. Okay, we got our 7 blocks on all 4 sides. And it's always a good idea to sort of get a step back and look at what you're building. That way you can maybe hopefully notice anything glaring out of the way. constantly having to refer back to the circle drawing because it's on my computer, not in my hands. So there's a lot of times you might see me pause or just sit blankly and not do anything for a little bit, and that's just because I'm checking another screen. It was so easy, I could have put in the white wool in between here and been okay. But when you're looking at the circle drawing, it's easier to have each ring be completed separately and then go back and fill in the gaps, because then you can make sure you have the right configuration on the circles. Because sometimes if you're not paying attention, you cannot tell if you are putting it in correctly or incorrectly. Making sure I got these right, because sometimes it doesn't always look that way, especially when you start to do the second and third rings and you start to notice that something doesn't quite look right with the way the wool is spaced out. Now, that obviously does not look right. So sometimes it's easier, instead of just trying to continue to go in that arc, do halfway over and then go to the other direction and meet back in the middle. Because otherwise you're going to sit there and struggle with trying to figure out where exactly did you mess up. I know I've messed up and this is totally wrong, but I can't figure it out in my head because I'm just too close to it. I'll try to look at the map again, the circle drawing, and see if I can figure it out. Yeah, I got these ones here all messed up. Just need to go 3 up here, and that'll do it. There you go. And unfortunately, since you have to actually put a block to go to another level, because you can't just place a block on a diagonal in air, you can always mess yourself up that way, thinking that that other block is part of the original circle. It's not. It's just a placeholder until you can get the other block on a separate level put in. You can see this actually took a few days cycle to get accomplished. I was doing this all in creative just for the simple fact that this was never going to be used for anything else other than this particular achievement. So I didn't feel that I was violating any kind of a trust rule that I had established early on in the series, where I wasn't going to cheat or go into creative mode. I simply wanted to have fun building something and then use it for a part of the series, which was the Sniper Duel Achievement, where you have to shoot the skeleton from 50 yards out with a bow and arrow. Because I wasn't going to use this structure for anything else, I sort of reconciled in myself that I could do this in creative and not be cheating. To those who watch the series and know that I try not to do anything in creative unless it is for instructional purposes only. Okay, now that I got all the rings done, I can start to fill in all the gaps with the colored wool. And that's why I went with the outermost block on each ring, so that I could just fill in behind it from the red wool to the white wool, and from the white wool to the red wool, working my way out. Always check your work just in case, because you can get way into a build and then realize that you screwed up something in the beginning, and you may have to undo a lot of work. And if you don't have the ability to go into creative mode, because maybe you're on a server and they don't have given you that right, you're going to be spending a lot of time and a lot of materials rebuilding everything in your path that you might have screwed up. And that means time, that means tools, that means materials. And if it's something that you're building like in diamonds or obsidian or other precious metals, you are going to find yourself kicking each other in the head. That you screwed it up. And I have to say that this has been rewarding to do because it's so much fun to just sit there and be creative and actually come up with a design and a way to work it into your to figure out a way to work it into something else like the actual series. Now, something was missing. I wanted to have some kind of a ring or outline for the bullseye because it just looked sort of plain and it got lost into the background, especially when it's in daytime and you don't have any darkness around you to get that white set against. But I'll come back to that. The first thing I want to do is get this platform built out so that I can have a place for the skeletons to spawn. And you want to have a place big enough so that you have room for multiple targets to spawn and then not be crowded. So I thought I'd go across the one ring from side to side. I'm going to put a roof in so that when daylight comes, none of the skeletons despawn or catch on fire, because that's what happens to skeletons in daylight on Minecraft. Now, one thing's bothering me about this entire build is that I'm sort of not on the same plane as the platform of the bullseye. It's a little bit further down. So one of the things I wanted to do was try to make as an optical illusion this appear that the platform and the roof sort of blend right into the actual design of the bullseye, so that you look, when you're standing on the platform on the house, it looks like there's nothing three-dimensional about the bullseye. It's all one flat piece of art. And this took me several attempts to try to figure out where to actually place red blocks or white blocks out from the background so that it made it look like it was part of the ring. I'm still not getting it right. I need another red block in those corners. The top looks good, but I just need to fix this bottom part. Fence before I forget about it, because possibility that some mobs might spawn here while I'm working. If that's the case, I'd like to keep them around. I figured out what I was missing. I wanted to have a sort of a scope crosshair effect. So I came out another 3 blocks from the outermost layer of white and put in this ring of black to sort of give it a crosshair effect, some kind of an outline, something like a holder. Basically to just break up that white on the lighter color of the daylight. Because it's quite possible that I will be doing this in daylight. And because this was another set out, ring out, three blocks, it made the entire ring of the bullseye 30 blocks wide instead of just the 27 that I used for the original design. Just checking my eyesight, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, you can see I finally got that bottom platform working the way I wanted it to. So now everything looks like a one flat piece of art. It doesn't look like it's a three-dimensional object. Okay, and there we have it. There is our platform. I'm going to test it out here with our bow and arrow, see if I can make it to the design. What I'm actually trying to do is hit the dead center. Now, it's quite possible that the skeletons will not spawn dead center, but there's going to be a little surprise in store, because I thought, you know what, this is fun, but let's take it one step further. Let's figure out a way to make this a little bit more interactive. So I wanted to find how to shoot dead center so that I could replicate that move while we're doing the event. You can see here I put a little button here. I'm going to try to hit this button with the bow and arrow because there's going to be a little surprise in store. If you've already seen the video of Hard Target, you're going to know exactly what we did. But this is how we actually did it. And what we're going to do is, if every time I hit the bullseye in the front, these dispensers will launch a rocket because they're connected with redstone to the button on the front. Now, the original design, I was going to have 5 dispensers, maybe more, across the back. But the way redstone works is it has to have a space. You can't have 2 pieces of redstone up against each other in order for work. So I decided to say, you know what, I'm not going to mess with this. I don't want to make it too overly complicated. I've made it enough as it is. So let's just put 3. And as you can see, we have regular rockets in here now with some starbursts. So that's pretty damn cool. Okay, here every step of the way, each ring as it went in, all the middle rings, all the design, the final product lit up and ready to go. So there you have it. That's the bullseye for Hard Target. I want to thank you guys for enjoying another video, and if you like this series, please favorite, throw me a comment, and subscribe for more videos. And check out the link to the actual achievement video for Hard Targets. You can see me and my daughter tackle this achievement and knock it off the board.